It's weird, I was thinking lately, like, up until the time that I was 21 years old, I fucking despised alcohol. My roommates, who were my best friend at the time, I remember they'd have parties a lot, and I hated being around alcohol so much that I'd lock myself in another room and just play music. And for all those years before I ever had my first drink, hypochondria used to fucking run my life. If you don't know what hypochondria is, it's just like, it's an obsession over symptoms. You're convinced that you have some sort of serious illness or terminal disease. And this shit I couldn't function because I was so convinced that something was wrong with me all the time, and no matter how often I went to the doctor, I wouldn't change anything. It'd be weird because I'd go to a doctor, and I'd go to another doctor, and even after going to the doctors, I just always thought that they missed something. So I'd be depressed. I'd be like, I definitely have prostate cancer. I have testicular cancer. I have skin cancer, and this was like every week. And you'd think, like, eventually you'd convince yourself that you were fine because you weren't dying, but it doesn't work that way. You just reconvince yourself. Anyways, hypochondria fucking ran my life, and I didn't know what it felt like to not have it bother me. I didn't know. Anyways, when the first time I got drunk and I started drinking, I noticed the symptoms, they went away immediately. So say, like, I was convinced that I was going to have a heart attack or a stroke, and I could feel this burning in my chest or in my head, and I knew it was going to happen. The symptoms would be bothering me all day. And then if I drank, the symptoms would go away, and then I would finally have reassurance, yes, it's all in my head. To feel that for the first time in my life was fucking incredible. To think, I can take a breath of air and not feel like I'm dying for once. It was like I didn't have any anxiety for the first time. And it was sad because it was because of the alcohol. So that was when I was 21, I'm 27 now. And so I sort of became dependent on alcohol for that feeling. Progressively over the years, I drank more and more alcohol to get rid of that feeling, to numb the hypochondria, to lay down in bed and to actually fall asleep because I don't have anxiety, because I'm not obsessing, because I fucking overanalyze everything all the time. Hypochondria, it's like that obsession over symptoms, it's a part of my personality, so I think and I overanalyze things all the time, and I'm always on edge. The way my brain works I'm always thinking the worst case scenarios all the time. I'm always thinking, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? And I always think that the worst thing is going to happen to me. And I fucking hate it. So I became dependent on alcohol. With that said, I got to the point where I was just so used to having a couple drinks every night to go to sleep, or to not overanalyze things and to focus. I started convincing myself that, I needed to drink. I needed to have a drink in order to, like, focus, get through an edit, to get through a video. And alcoholism, it runs in my family. And I could see myself falling victim to those traits. The issue is we tend to be high-functioning alcoholics, which means we still get our work done. Our personalities don't really change, and it doesn't look like alcoholism to people. And while, like, the amount that I was drinking didn't ruin any of my relationships, it still made bad decisions that I wouldn't have made if I was sober. Today and recently I've been thinking, my most regrettable decisions always were when I was drunk. Up until the point to where I was like 21 or 22, I didn't really regret many of my decisions. All the countless nights of things that I've said and things that I've done and things I wouldn't have done when I was sober. And I think that that's the problem, is the way I feel disgusted with myself, with how I used to be. I regret the way that I was when I was drunk, and when you're drunk, your inhibitions are reduced. You're fucking stupid, but you'd swear you're smart. And the thing is, I'm never a violent alcoholic. I'm not loud or obnoxious. I'm always fun, but I make bad decisions. Just kind of decisions that I wouldn't make if I was sober. You know what I mean? Just things like that. Like, it's just not you. And then when I would feel upset about them, I would end up drinking again and reconvincing myself that I was happier when I was drinking. And so I would just keep drinking, convincing myself, hey, lots of famous writers and actors, are alcoholics because some people just need to be. So that's the logic that disgusts me, is me convincing myself that some people just need to be alcoholic in order to get through their life. And if I'm being honest, I think that's pretty fucking disgusting, because it's not true at all. It's that mindset that I had that makes you an unreliable person to the people you care about, And yeah, it didn't look like alcoholism because I wasn't obnoxiously drunk throwing shit around and being violent. It was alcoholism to me because I was dependent on it in order to feel calm for once. And it was alcoholism to me because of how often I try to reconvince myself that it's okay to have another drink. And I don't even drink every night. It's just how much I do when I do. That's the sad part. But lately, I have been drinking every night, and I'm fucking over it. I'm really over it. It's like all the anxiety and depression that I numb that night, I wake up with. It all gets pushed to the morning, and I wake up with that. So with that said, I can definitely identify the issue, and it's probably not as bad as I think it is. Because I'm not getting blackout drunk. I'm drinking to not worry about anything. It's the wrong reason. And all the problems, the reasons I drink it's all on me. It's not anybody else. It's because of my mind. So with that said, I'm gonna try and quit drinking so I can be a better person. And if it's not a better person to somebody else, at least I'm being a better person to myself. I'm being more respectable to myself and to my body. This isn't anything that I want to talk about, because I'm afraid that people are going to see me differently. But in a way, I think admitting to it is what I need to just go forward and be stronger. Anyways, I'm sorry for laying that random depressing shit on you. It's not as bad as I made it seem. Because I asked everybody, and I'm like, do you think that I'm an alcoholic? And they're like, no, you just have a couple drinks at night. But it doesn't feel like that to me. And I think that the way that it feels to me is more important. It's better to catch it before it gets worse, But when I think about the way that I am when I'm drunk, it makes me fucking sad. That's not me. I don't want to be that anymore.
And it's never like hard liquors, ever. It's always just wine. Like, I always need a bottle of wine or beer at night. And then I'd think, oh, that's just part of my character. There's Vincent drinking wine again at night. That's just him. But it shouldn't be like that. Thanks for listening. I guess I feel a little bit better. Sorry it was depressing. I think that I'd rather just be a hypochondriac every day and deal with it than depend on alcohol.
Thank you for everybody who sent me extraordinarily positive messages and for my long Snapchat story.